soon. Let me know how I sound, people. This is a new setup. So if anything could be louder or quieter, please let me know. If the game is being picked up by my microphone and you hear a weird doubling effect, please let me know. I sound a little quiet. Thank you, Mike. Okay, put that by my mouth. Do game up a little bit. Okay. Ba-ba-bow. Ba-ba-bow. Hello. Yes. Hello. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Invisible. Yay! And now for the piece de resistance. Hello! I got a little guy. Game is a little too loud. Interesting. Okay. It should be a lot quiet. I don't know why, but this music on the main screen is really freaking loud. I don't know why. You know what? Let's turn it off on my monitor and do headphones. Yeah, it's a little guy. He's just a little guy. Alright. Fun little fact. I made this little guy all by myself. I legit even, I'm using like the Discord, like PNG thing. So, legit, I just made a Discord server just for me. It's my own little paradise. So, my experience with Ace Attorney? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. My experience with Ace Attorney is I basically know all of the games except for the Ace Attorney trilogy. I mean, not the Ace Attorney, the Apollo's trilogy specifically. I don't know much about his, except for this game specifically. This is the only Ace Attorney game I've played and not watched, but I never finished it. I think I got to case 3 and I'm like, this sucks. But I wanted to stream the other games, and it feels wrong to do those games without doing this one first. And I'm going to do some voice acting, so if it's intolerable, please forgive me. Let's just jump in. New game. Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. Episode 1. Turnabout Trump. Ugh. That wood's been ruined. It's very nice art, actually. Showdown time. You lose. Ah! What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, what's happening? Oh yeah, the style is great. I'm fucking dead. Ah, that's a cute transition. I didn't remember that. It's been like years since I played this game, so I probably don't remember much. I seem to be in trouble, something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cop should be here any minute. I don't know why it's auto-scrolling. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. Panicked, palm sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Ah, good morning. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No. I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Cords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney, and today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him, no way. I'm guilty. Whoa. Huh? Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him? Cardiac arrest. Huh? I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So you're... Fine, I'm fine. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. I did it. Got that guy really good, I did. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Huh? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend. So why? You'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time, shall we? Yes, sir. Okay, I need to focus. First trial, here comes. Here comes justice! April 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. The court is now in session.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is, fine. Ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank? Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a little bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention. Paul's got great spites, I agree. Yes. However, a defense attorney must always see to his client's wishes. My client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust this case to this greenhorn? Why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience. Fine. But does he have cords of steel? I got them cords. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Huh? This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenixite piano player. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne.
To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains.
Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see.
Ahem! The crime occurred at the Borched Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack! Killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was?
The pianist for the club, it seems.
Phoenix Wright, a pianist?
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. This grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice.
The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle. Yay. Wahoo bottle. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed under the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. Right, I've heard of that. Yeah. Look at the evidence so far. Yeah. I'm confident in your ability. Right, just use R1. Can I do it whenever? Yeah. The victim was a customer at this restaurant. Wahoo, adult beverage. Just who is this, Shady Smith fellow?
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear.
And he was some sort of connection with the defendant. Wahoo Liquor. Or, what's that? Sky Pirates thing? Laku or whatever fruit? Wahoo, I don't know. Pirates. He had some sort of connection with the defendant.
That, too, it is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borched Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
If they had only just met, then why murder? Then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing?
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least, not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean.
Locua, right.
As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a sec. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself!
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
It is true that defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game, in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again?
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defendant was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present. And impress women. Sorry, women.
That will be our first order of business here, then. To find out if those backs were really blue, and if women should be to find out more about the fatal game of cards. Truly, gambling is truly the most heinous of crimes, Your Honor. Send me to the gulags, he gamble. To find out more about the fatal game. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime.
My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing.
The competition. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the pool table. Poker table. The room where we play, and the competition, In there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano.
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Got him.
That's kind of awesome. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. I'll admit to murder if you drop these baseless accusations of poker. I only play Go Fish.
Right, Your Honor.
My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you all right? You're sweating bullets.
Bullets? Where?
It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too.
My brain feels strained and raspy, sir?
You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher?
Nah. No need for help, sir. I think I've got this one covered.
I think you'd better do more than thinking. Or you know it, or you don't.
I'm fine. The cords of steel are ready for battle. My weapons.
You're still giving me a tutorial. Okay. Learn it, know it, do it.
Inconsistencies. Lies. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie.
A man who lies all the time, professionally. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Pianist by trade, yeah, I can only play. To take on interested customers. The room where we play in the competition are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. Press.
2 decks of cards?
A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, you can slip in cards. You can't slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor.
Precisely. Cards on the table and cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. The crime scene painted blue was a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really.
Incidentally, we used the types of cards at the club. 2 types of cards. One deck of cards was red and the other was blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat.
Yeah, a game of hands.
Huh? Why are you getting all edgy?
It's all it is, a game. And our customers, let's press that too.
Right, I have to go do some errands, but yeah, have a good one, Demi. So you claim you went gambling.
You went gambling?
That's right. It was simply a game.
You didn't bet any money? Not even a little?
The only thing at stake in our game was pride itself. Ho ho! Well put, Mr. Wright. I've got a mind to play a hand of poker myself. The stakes, your fate.
Can we get back to the trial now?
Lying of testimony. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? Yeah. Okay, I can go. It's a take on. I mean, there's no reason to not press anything, because that's how race attorney games are. You can hardly play? Well, I play sometimes, when customers demand it, so I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Is that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist, stick with someone else, is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the Botched Bull Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional, after all.
Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine.
Oh, it's a bot? You die now. Oh, that's cute. You coming over here with you want me to buy viewers. God, you die. You've been objection, guilty. It's hard to make me to imagine. Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
What?
I've played poker for 7 years in that little room, and I've never lost once.
What?
You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. At least that's what Angela told me.
Wait, you never lost once? Not even one time?
As I said, I'm a professional.
He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible? Whoa!
The room where we play and the competition, and there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. Oh, right. Alright, what did I not press yet? The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction. I had quite a history, actually. The Bush Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day.
The black market?
Well, in the past, things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. I mean, not really, but whatever. Suffices to say that there were lots of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room. Gambling hoods. You know, just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The boss gathered around the table, getting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would would be a good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. This competition you're talking about, I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently.
That's right. It was a simple game, after all.
Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment the crime occurred, yet you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. Oh, what's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense.
I completely let that one slip by.
Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like to make clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony.
Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony?
I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Press.
Silence?
Yeah, I got rights. What about it? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law.
But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage.
And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yeah? Great, like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh?
Wait, something he said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now, what was it?
When you figure it out, I'd suggest presenting evidence. Evidence, contradictions, gameplay! I'd better check the court record. Yeah, cross-examination, take it slow, you need more information, don't forget to press. Rules are simple, we play poker. I guess present the bottle. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's completely empty. Apparently, Mr. White's favorite drink. Let's present. Oh, Achievo! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Oh,
That hair flip.
too bad our defense attorney has never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't something.
Oh, they wouldn't prove a single thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It's when something is the opposite of right side. It means he was holding the bottle inverted. And there can be only one reason for that. Yes. To blind someone with the bottle. No!
Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. That's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on the bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above the ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see. And this is the phone that made the call.
Court record.
Well, the cell phone could have just fled the cell phone. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative?
Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this.
I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room where it happened? The moment the crime occurred? Room where it happened. The room... How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
You're as good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room In the room where it happened? That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has just been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
Oh, I'm a Justice. Oh.
Oh boy, how do I do a Russian woman? Oh no. Oh no. I apologize, women. This is going to be bad.
The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. I use a little hair gel. Relax, people.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
Are you sure?
I swear on my gavel. Please, come out.
Is it violence against hair crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is okay. Oh.
Now, the prosecution.
Jeez.
Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be...
My name is Olga Orley. I am employed as a waitress in the Borscht Bowl Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course. It is my pride to serve borscht, that is, naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service.
Take it one of these services is taking the customer's pictures.
Like for example, this one.
That's the defendant.
Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one has gone kaput.
Indeed, that is the victim. Order! Order! That is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It is the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Now the witness. Where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room. That hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
It is room where famous gangster Baghdad, that guy, was arrested. It is room where murder took place.
What?
You look utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want a copy of.
So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Oiley, our witness. If Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about the night's events.
The fateful night. The night customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays the whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done. But something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and strangled him to death.
Oh, incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose.
Justice, maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection.
But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. Something. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay at the moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright.
Ah, he's got a full house. Pretty good, pretty good. That's a slightly stronger full house.
Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
Yes! Imagine the poker is war. Your hand is your army and the chips are your the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem the most of the chips on the victim's side of the table. Chips. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game.
Press. Just press everything. You were dealing cards? You do this often?
I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work.
It's good to hear a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service.
Welcome you to the Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitress.
Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. Well, it's already April. How could it be cold?
At Borscht Bowl Club, we have pride in authentic rustic restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there.
When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da? The victim, he plays the whole time.
His locket?
I believe it was good luck charm, da? He gripped it many times as he played that night.
Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it was small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like to ask a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about, right?
I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket.
Of course! I knew that! It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that.
No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what the...
It's considered bad form to poke fun at the heart of hearing in our society.
Heart of hearing, or heart of understanding. So what happened next? Then, last hand is done.
Something terrible had happened.
What happened? Something terrible!
The defense will refrain from needlessly shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing.
Now, Miss Orley, what can you tell us? What happened? Oh, it was so... I was so frightened. I trembled with fear.
But the defendant would never do such a thing. Well, no. I can't say I've heard the defense trying this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. So why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker?
Perhaps it is because the defendant has lost the game? Yes, a crushing defeat for the man undefeated. So it always is with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall.
Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do.
Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright isn't the killer.
I've got you now, Orley. Okay, I've kind of pressed everything. Oh, it's my evidence. Victim, he plays the whole time his hands. The last hand is done, but something terrible happened. Did I already press you? I should really... Phone! Oh, what the? Wow, the battery is being held with a piece of tape. Should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it? Does he just not care? Oh, I thought that was like a note. Yeah, they're not playing cards yet. Both players played with hats on. You know what? I've technically already played this game. When I go to the other games, I won't cheat, but this one I kind of want to beat today. So, Ace, Attorney, 4, Guide, Sumi. Yeah, some changes you'll need to make. Press whatever you like, get used to the function without pressing a fist and trigger an amendment. Did I press you? The defendant would never do such a thing. I need to press this. I wish I could, like, go between statements faster. Present, I guess maybe present the photo? I don't know, this thing isn't being very specific. No, yeah. Fuck! I don't fucking know. This guide sucks. I find a good guide. Here we go. Fucking the gamer. Oh, I am on the fateful night. Oh, right, strangling. Dumb. I haven't eaten today. I'm gonna call that as my excuse. Oh, really strangled, you say? That's odd. Normal customers only choke on borscht. No. I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Oily, really now? Did you witness the crime? I cannot scream right now. Eek. In Russian. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is in fact
That he was hit, Your Honor. It is a fact. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Bald. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit.
But I've seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck.
Oh, really, Miss Oily? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more.
What do you mean? I found a contradiction.
There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination.
There's such a thing as too much thinking?
This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Present third statement. Oh yeah, because this is like just directly contradicts. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on the locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't going to raise objection about the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this.
But what does it mean?
If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no?
Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean...
The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say, yes, yes. I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket, with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Come again?
Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Serious competition.
The game began with 3,500 points and chips for each man. House chips comes in two size, small and large. The one who was winning, it was the victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and...
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. A failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Oh, how many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now something, something, something. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies.
Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong.
Serious competition. impressed. The chips in this photo, all the chips that we used?
Of course.
Huh? Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Should I press harder? Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips?
Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip on the old block. Something, 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 something.
Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even?
Yet, as I've been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalist to understand. Dirty capitalist. 2 types of chip. 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It is not money, da.
Justice? Sir, don't you find her comment interesting?
In more ways than one, sir.
I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want to witness the testimony to add a testimony? Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind.
Da, Your Honor.
2 kinds in all, the one who was winning. The chip photo. It was the victim. Present, yeah, and then present. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure?
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at this picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh.
Oh, I thought so too. But then the total doesn't add up.
The totals?
Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1 could be 5.
They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that alleged shows all the chips.
If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them all up.
How much is it?
Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up.
This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. See that, starting points, chips, countless on. Both go right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in the photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips are worth 1,000 points, not the big ones.
Madness! It's a madness!
Show me the photograph of the chips again. There were 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. I can math! Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself.
Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But, wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing!
Indeed. The victim did have the large number of chips still. Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math and add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 29 points, and Mr. Wright, 4,100. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all.
That's impossible!
My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning.
Yeah!
Now, Miss Oily, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you?
Take! Catch.
Order! Order! It appears our defendant lost his motive. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the... Objection! Excuse me? What is it, Miss Oily?
I did not want to say this, but I actually, you see, see what, Miss Oily? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat! A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Wait, do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing.
Yes, there was a cheat in the last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are.
Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating? Where does crime ever end? Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The final hand.
The last hand, both men had full house. There was 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument, da. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the beginning?
I didn't feel like it.
I thought I smelled a cover up here.
Well,
folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin, what's a full house?
Lawyers these days, don't you know your poker?
It's not like it's illegal or anything. Wait, I can't say this bodes well for your case, or career. What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? That's illegal. Justice, you know the terms. 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards the same, yeah. Poker. Good, now picture a hand with 1 pair, and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. Huh, that doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's even heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Okay. I am going to take a quick break. I just need to get some water and maybe get a little quick snack. I have been reading nonstop for over an hour. Which might be back. I need to organize my fucking layers. It should be a text. Do I not have a be back? I don't. I gotta add one. Fuck it. No one's here. I will just do a text thing real quick. There we go. I can just do that. Ooh, hello. That looks bad. Fuck it. I go get water and a snack. I am back. Alright. I got the water. And I got a bagel. Now let's save. Oh yeah, I haven't saved it. I think there was an autosave, but got an autosave on the Ace Attorney game wild. Alright, I believe I already read this bit. Oh god. What was I doing? I am the big brain fart. Oh god. Hold up the guide. That's the third statement. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. How was it clear?
Ah, well, the defendant, he played a fifth ace.
A fifth ace?
I still remember both hands very well.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Strike that joke from the record, it was quite bad. Strike the joke. Strike. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Pretty please. Present the chip at the new statement. Yeah, there's only 4 aces. I would have noticed a 5th ace when I was looking at this picture earlier. Objection! Boldface, like...
It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name...
Now look. Wow, mistaken is actually a very Ace Attorney name. It would be.
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not?
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend.
He is quite slow.
In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. Come on, guys.
Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
We can see the photo still, it doesn't.
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating alright, and it's going right here in this courtroom.
2 aces in each player's hand does make for 4 aces total. I can math. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, but please, it is true. I have seen it, the 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts, Mr. Gaffin. Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? I'm gonna take a bite of bagel real quick. If you don't mind. Try to examine the cards. The cards! Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Sorry, excuse me. The player's hand that night was set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? Both. And these cards, and if these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? I don't fucking know. The victim's hand. Was the victim's hands that changed over the course of the witness's testimony? Yeah, no, actually is pretty simple logic. This isn't that hard. I'm just not trying at all because I don't feel like it. Don't at me. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir.
When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Yeah, cool. This is when I should take a bite of the bagel, the tutorial. Oh. Hello. What? Sorry, give me a sec. Bagels are chewy.
Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand.
What was that? Miss Oily?
No, yet. I mean, I said, I have...
Your Honor? Mr. Gaffin? Yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... this witness, Miss Oily? She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager.
No!
Nyag. Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Sorry, women. Your Honor! Please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Oily conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
Oh!
Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Oily, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. Sorry. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Oily, of murder.
You... Heck.
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Oily?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Justice? Your Honor? It seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means...
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What? I did it. I held out.
I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Mr. Wright?
You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. I'm a silly guy. What can I say? Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
Yes, Payne, very good. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per pack. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed.
Use 2 different colors and they still got mixed up.
We used the red decks for the last game. I see. But that's odd. For some reason, I have the impression that you were using the blue cards.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Yeah, Gavin did.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix.
Oh, Gavin said blue cards. What could it mean? Gavin! How could sexy blonde boy be wrong?
Which means there was cheating!
Yes, a card slipped into the deck. Would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first questions, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks to the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped?
When were the cards swapped into the deck? Well, according to this Gamer article...
They were swapped after the murder. Perhaps it happened after the murder?
Wait, what's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hand's already been shown? That's silly! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take it silly over impossible. Take it from me, son, there's lots of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight into crazy. I'll ask again. What's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question that must be asked. Who swapped the red card for the blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue? Someone else. The one who swapped the card wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And yet, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As a defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color cards. And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. There's something you'd like to share, with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Oof, I'm getting lightheaded. I eat bagel again. How people doing? How the new people in chat doing? Man, I'd love to just cut out all the eating, but that's how it be. Interesting frame to end on, since this one has no music. It's just an intimate moment, guys. Alright. Alright, let's get back into it.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. That someone made 2 critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did swap didn't know the 2 color of the cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the 5th ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a 5th ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True. Not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a 4th person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. Ooh, his chambers. 11:52. That went on for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. That's pretty similar to how long I've actually been doing it. That was quite unexpected, Mr. X. To certainly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I'd think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice? Yes, sir? The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Yeah, you can take a look at it. There's a picture of my daughter in there. It's a babby. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night.
The one who cheated that night, was it you?
What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never! Honest! But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years.
Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. And that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win.
Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds.
I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding!
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No. Come on, you noticed that.
Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me. And now I pass the secret on to you. But
I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
No, you can do it.
Huh?
You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
But you will. Soon. Almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power.
My, power?
I have no idea my
I have no idea my cords of steel were that special.
It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.
To be continued.
Save. Yeah, save. Okay, I think I can finish this case today. Continue. Yeah, I can keep going. I've only been streaming an hour and a half. Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing, you see. She's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is an insufficient ground for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Oily take the stand. Very well, the witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat the name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser.
Not! Name's Olga Oily. The truth is, I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quickfingers Oily.
Oh, really?
Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian. My last name sounds like oh really. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. But, you know, wasn't my Russian impression so good? Yeah. Witness! You will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. As a witness.
So you were in cahoots with the victim?
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning was the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. It was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut.
You swapped the cards!
Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend, destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh, really, Oily? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to the planted card?
Hey, that's right. He's lucky. I'll give him that. He'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Oily.
Ooh, I'm getting I don't... Maybe I should have called it quits. I'm getting lightheaded. Oh, really? The witness would be much... You said the witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick? Wow, how very, you'd be cuter if you smiled more, Judge. What the heck?
Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. Bad to the bone.
When you're being bad, perhaps you can testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
Well, I suppose so. That night I planted the cards like I was supposed to. And I lost the last hand, just like you were supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was the no-good cheating defendant.
A surprise. Leave frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect! If the rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking. Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Uh-huh. 2, 3, 4. Press.
Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing. Gonna move this over a little bit. Okay. Which means he didn't cheat. Which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well... just touching the back of her head. What was that just now? I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Press harder! Miss Orley, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? You? Me? Quick Fingers Orley? Hide something?
The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I have one question for the witness, then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it. Honest. I saw it when White hit him. With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Your vibe is off! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? Bum, da bum, bow. Oh. Oh! Whoa, what's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus. There, that twitch. It's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit, like I couldn't before. Perceive! Miss Orley, perhaps you're unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When you say she says the part of the testimony, she is subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of the memory to show us. Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss Orley, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happen when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be a reason behind the habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an erasable impression on your neck is this. I mean, you say this is the only weapon. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And that reminds us of the moment that more of the moment than this bottle. The murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
What's he talking about?
It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit, not you.
This is cross-examination, not cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits? That's completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. I mean, that's what I meant. Mrs. Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Niet. I am nothing. I know nothing.
We know you're not Russian. The witness will testify, please. Now.
Bah, fine. He's the one who did it.
I did. Oh, wait. This is the same testimony. Once did I, Present its cell phone at the news statement. I think that's the new one. We have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were all alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Eek! The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Whoosh. I'm gonna take this moment to drink water. I already read this. I don't need to read it again. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets now! It's gone. The card's gone? You lose. Ugh! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right, and he hit me. You, some master of cheating you are! Yuck! When I came to, the victim was already dead. The victim was already dead? Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, where does this leave us? Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming! It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this! It appears our prosecution is at its wit's end. And frankly, I can't blame them. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? I don't fucking know. I'm fucking crazy. Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Oily a big, fat liar. What? 3 were there in the room the night of the murder. The defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of their argument was murder. What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me. What tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph, Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? There was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right. Like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped in the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know the 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person.
Ha! This theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist.
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring the case to court. Here. Where there's no escape and there's no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
But what?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about? Sorry. Remember what I said? The 4th person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color on the back of the cards. Yeah, cause Gavin, knew that they were blue when they weren't, or something. Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? These cards used for the last game were red, yet there was one person here in our courtroom who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear. I'm just a little guy.
Who is this fourth person? I'd always get put on the spot like this. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? Well, I won. Who could it be? Oh, we don't know how... Oh, 32. Oh, we don't know how old Shady Smith is. 'Cause I'm Shady Smith. Oh, he's 33. Okay. 61. 21. Yeah, it's Gavin. As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, and the ones on the floor or the table. But look! You can see the cards in this photo. Yes. But when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It is true the defendant... Well, yeah, I already said this. Again, the purest sense. Competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Test of wits. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame. Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin! Is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Right? You weren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph, you know, even I'd never take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder?
I assure you I'm quite sane.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim had never even met.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night, before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to court. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin, testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before the game of poker be related? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Well, does this court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Hear the testimony! He was planning this all along, and I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. Et tu, Justice? You would betray me, your teacher. I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Ellipse. Very well. The defendant. Mr. Wright, please take the stand, please. Please, pretty please. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. He sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. that's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club that night of the murder?
I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked...
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might need a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, right? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice? Sir? He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? Oh. Cross-examination! Okay. I already read you. Third statement.
Third statement.
Not that. Press. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Oily mentioned. It was simple, elegant. Yeah. I read you. I read you. We know this. It happened like 20 minutes ago. There's a lot of recap. You swapped the cards! You swapped the cards! Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank, in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it.
A quirk?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card.
The card she planted?
Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon?
Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see. A bottle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like a terrific drama.
A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of the Battle of Wits. Please provide your testimony. How do I... I don't see no fucking card. There's no card. I discovered the... I've looked over this thing head to toe. Mr. Wright, if I may? Yes. I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. Huh? No? Whoa, Mr. Wright, surely... surely bees isn't all you have to say for yourself? I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a 5th person came and took it out. Oh, and a 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle and there was nothing.
So what's going on? Has Mr. Wright hoodwinked us again? Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid to decide... Oh, push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for it, the KO. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Fifth statement. I returned. Okay, I returned he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Yeah. Crime photo 1. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, if I may? Yes? Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Huh? Good point! Justice, next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head. Eh? You? You put the hat on his head? On a dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head.
Why'd you do a thing like that?
All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene.
So, Miss Oily didn't see it? It beginning the victim's, his head?
I'd think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again.
Mr. Gavin?
Pardon? It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here, except for the part where I said I was telling nothing but lies. Eh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. A reason? That reason is right here.
Your cell phone?
That night, I recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this? Yeah, it's only a one-party to record state, get fucked. Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. The gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good. He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him, hard. You mean to say someone cracked the flawless bone chia pate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please, the cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Bone china plate? Kind of porcelain. Very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Us bald people are very sensitive.
Wait a second, something's not right about the phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club.
Most certainly.
Then, how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate?
Oh, that's right!
Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene, and when I spotted Miss Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix Wright.
Order! We will have order! Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear the defense attorney Gavin's testimony?
Shibbity bop. Well, as the prosecutor,
Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
I would have thought today would turn out like this. May I? Huh? What? Hello, sir.
What? No, I don't know how to do fucking... If I could, I'd love to give it like a New York, Boston kind of thing, but I don't know how to fucking do that.
Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. Yeah, I'll make it kind of wispy.
What's this all about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all.
An ace? Where do I remember that card from? 3 ace. Ah, the missing ace. It's my ace in the hole. The 5th ace.
The missing 5th ace. Wait, this blotch of red. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
I do like Trucy. A lot of people don't like Trucy, but I'm a sucker for Trucy's design. I'm a sucker for a top hat in general. This blood-stained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into the thought my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection. Court record. Wow, it's been going on for over 4 hours. I have not been streaming that long. Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gaffin, will you please take the stand? Oh, we're not doing a whole new chapter thing. Oh, thank God. Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Will the witness state his name and occupation?
Is this first necessary, Your Honor? Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. Like a fucking parrot, good God. Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret behind the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is this about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it. I'm over here now. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright!
What do you think you're doing, Mr. Wright?
Wow, things sure look different from the other side.
You know what I mean, Apollo?
Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off. Except for that one time. That one time. Being the instant he was hit.
Oh!
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to have been there in the hideout at the time of the crime. In other words, I must be the real killer. Is that what you're trying to say? Not bad, Apollo.
Mr. Gavin, I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. I'm evil now. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of the fateful night?
The fateful night.
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. I must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appeared in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at that time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright. Cold reading is hard.
So, you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantaged to your client. What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify just as you did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright, you had to say that, because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh. Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
That fateful night. One, 2, 3, 5. Press.
Those were the only 3 scenes of the crime?
Yes, as far as I saw, at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend. There must have been someone else at the moment of the crime. Justice, I just said I saw no one. Not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Ah, yes, this mysterious fourth person, who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question, then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary. How can I show something I can't find myself? Remember, Apollo, the card was swapped out. That was swapped out was the fifth ace. The fifth ace? Right. Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out the card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? Show evidence. It's now or never. The reason why the card was swapped out. Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the fifth ace? 'Cause it had a bloody on it. My reason is, this. Is that an ace? Why, it's got blood on it! Right next to the spade! What? What?
This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be? Could this be the missing fifth ace? Inconceivable! How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card. It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock in trade, after all. No. Impossible. Unacceptable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
The reason for
the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime. Where are you going with this? Taking a look at the photo, and at the victim's hand, or head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I'd suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is not permissible. Oh? Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years. You used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now I've told you. The one drop of blood that would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless conjecture. Baseless! Oh, I assure you it's quite based. I am Phoenix Wright. I am a gay single father, and I am the definition of based. What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo, tell him, Naegi, tell him, Apollo. Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. Whoa, 3 dimensions! The power of the DS system! The murder took place in the hideout. the body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there was one decisive problem with this scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killer... The victims, the killers, the witness, the second witness. Whose position doesn't fit the bloody card? I know this so well. When asked to point out the present a victim's location. Victim? That's what I knew it. I knew it. I was thinking victim. Well, isn't the victim's position that the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him. Oh! Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall onto the floor, not onto the cards. Why, that's right! So, what does that mean? Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Aw, man. Apollo, try turning your head around. The chair was facing the other way? It would have to be. So we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing the other way from the table. This technology... The Nintendo DS! When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing? When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? I'm just kind of here now. I'm not really doing anything or contributing. Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killer, the witnesses, or the second witness? Wait, what am I? When whose location on this diagram contradicts a new understanding? Fuck. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm great. Wait, where was I? Insert the chair. Present. When asked to point out whose location doesn't make sense now, present the killer's location. Oh, right, I forgot he was labeled as killer. The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to be hit from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is. I would think it'd be quite hard, yeah, yes. Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense! Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light. What? There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? What? But... there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim? killer had to be standing, well, here.
You get points for flair, but that's about all you get.
I thought I was onto something there, too.
You hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above.
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means at that very moment of the crime.
Wait, I know. At the very moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
What's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation. Right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try and move the cupboard. Your Honor? What? There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff. Oh, yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. I do my best. But let's forge ahead here, while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Apollo, try moving on to the cupboard. Thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. The power of the Nintendo DS. Remarkable. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this? What is it now? Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, dang! Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. This really will be the final testimony. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, or the second witness? Which indicator in this is contradictory? Obviously, I know because. Obvious. Oh, he can't see now. About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window up to the stairs. Ugh. That's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What? What did you say? Oh. Is that the coolest defense in the West, losing his cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly where did you witness the crime scene from?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Order! This is a court of law, and I will have order!
We just now received the word from our investigative team at the Bush Boat Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there was a secret passage behind it.
What? Yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it. A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room has a secret passage? Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. Wait, so a borscht supposed to be hot or cold? I actually don't know, and it's been like contradicted. The girl said that borscht is warm, but you said it's cold. Objection. You see, well, our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us upon... Apollo. I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. And at the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passage behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Ah! Ah! What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga Oily was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But this time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look around, for after the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime scene. Too bad for him, he didn't have any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor, and the fact that they were all red. Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. I believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin, but I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me. Ooh, caliber, thank you. Ooh. The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Oh, legal evidence. Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. The court and this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down, and that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the catfish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo?
Yes?
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation, just like that.
Yeah.
Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight. How about we just say the answer in plain words? Just tell me. It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice? Mr. Gavin said that the case and his explanation demand an explanation. Don't worry. Justice won't leave until justice is done. I ain't going anywhere. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down? Can I... Attorney's badge. I don't know. This one I legitimately don't know. Olga's photo. Oh, just because of, like, his position? It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me? On the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up, without getting off the chair. See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down! Look at this photograph. Look at this, taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing the piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. Dude, I was drinking my usual juice then, too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up another bottle from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like it was the murder weapon. Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactics of misdirection. What? You claim that I switched the bottle? Where is your proof? Prove that I switched the bottle! Prove that I did it! You have no proof! Proof? Well, that's, Sorry. Getting to me. Fuck. Water. Fuck. Ugh. As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation? Yes, I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Bush Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. What are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I'd be surprised if anyone that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But, why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright? That bottle will solve this case once and for all. Oh, it has the card in it. What? There's some bottle. So it's a card! There's something inside the bottle. Oh. What's this? That card. It can't be. We'll call that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga Oily? Unpleasant? I thought she was quite lovely. Yes, our little swindling, Dovechka. Dovachka? I don't know that. That's a Russian word. That night, I planted the card. Yeah, words. I planted the card. It went like it was supposed to, but the planted card was gone. It was the 5 of hearts. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in the piece of testimony. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. Before the game, disposed. Where? An empty bottle of grape juice. I wonder where it went. Here it is. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Oh, the lobster from earlier. That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Unlike myself, who is very much not straight. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete. Right?
This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have any report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession to be sure. That's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good, Mr. Wright. Yes? 7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated. This courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright. Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Court adjourned. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there.
It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability.
Ability?
Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Wait, I wonder if he means...
Wow, the moment the defendant hit the victim is the wow, weird vibes.
What was that, Mr. Wright?
You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself.
The answer. Right.
Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Wait, you don't know? Do you?
This locket is the key.
Huh? That reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket.
Yeah, I know, it was like part of like a whole master plan thing. I'm pretty cool now.
Your daughter, right?
That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury. You testified. You said that locket was yours.
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth.
Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside of it?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices, after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo?
Yes?
How about coming to work for me?
You mean at the Wright & Co. Law Offices?
I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that does...
I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it.
I can imagine that to be true, but...
Wait, but didn't you... You're not a...
Oh, I turned in my badge, yeah. I'm not an attorney anymore.
That incident, 7 years ago. That's almost 12 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good.
Or at least until the next game.
Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to stand in court of law. I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I bet this was the forged evidence. The one that Gavin called forged evidence? Take that, Phoenix! You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. The card can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. How do you know it is fraud? Unless you are the fraud committer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really? Yes. I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo? So it's true. That rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? I punched him. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that," next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved, and at the time, I had no idea they were all related. But every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic, I'd find that out as soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. Alright, good first fucking stream. Save. Oh yeah, actually do the thing. Who's streaming? Okay. Alright, so next, stream, no, not you. Yeah, we'll be playing Case 2 whenever I get the time to do that. That'll probably be 2 streams, because the cases do get longer from here on out. I am dreading this case. /raid. I just raid the PIF. Nope. Alright. Good stream, peoples. Goodbye. When I had this done, I'll just click raid now. This is the awkward bit. 2 stupid hatching and dragon's ad. Wait now. Hello.
Bulb! Hi, Bulb! Pip is a weirdo. It's just me.
Oh. Hello. shizzle.